On September 26 afternoon, Cuban time, the Cuban leader presided over a grand welcome ceremony for the Vietnamese leader. After that, the two leaders held talks to assess the outcomes of the bilateral cooperation in the recent past, and outline orientations to enhance cooperation effectiveness in the coming time. Miguel Diaz-Canel Bermudez highly spoke of the Vietnamese leader's visit, saying that it reflects the great respect for relations, and the revolutionary solidarity between the two parties and the two countries. Cuba extremely treasures the traditional relationship, as well as the special and faithful friendship with Vietnam, and will maintain the solidarity with the latter, during the socialist-oriented national development cause, he affirmed. Talum said, his visit to Cuba once again demonstrates that Vietnam attaches importance to, and is strongly determined to enhance and improve the effectiveness of the two sides' close-knit comradeship and fraternal relationship. During their talks, the two leaders affirmed their resolve to advance the ties to a new height, making the relationship more comprehensive, practical, effective, and sustainable. They also highlighted the significance of maintaining peace, stability, and development, agreeing that international disputes must be settled by peaceful measures, on the basis of respect for international law and the UN Charter. On the occasion, the guest informed his host that the Vietnamese party, state, and people have donated 10,000 tons of rice to the Cuban people. After the talks, the two leaders witnessed the signing of 7 cooperation agreements between ministries and localities of the two countries. After that, the host chaired a ceremony to present the Order of José Martí, the highest honor of the Cuban party and state, to the Vietnamese leader. The order was granted in recognition of Talum's priceless contributions to the development of the solidarity, friendship, and faithful relations between the two sides. On the afternoon of September 26, Cuban time, Party General Secretary and State President Talum met with Cuban Prime Minister Manuel Marrero Cruz. The two sides discussed in-depth measures to improve the effectiveness of Vietnam-Cuba collaboration in fields such as trade, investment, agriculture and food processing, tourism, healthcare, and others. They reached consensus on strengthening and deepening economic cooperation, and joining hands to study new cooperation methods, remove roadblocks to raise their two-way trade revenue to $500 million in the next 5 years. At the meeting with President of the National Assembly of People's Power of Cuba, Esteban Lazo Hernandez, Party General Secretary and State President Talum and the host, shared the view on contributions of the legislatures to bilateral relations. The host and guest spoke highly of the fine development of the bilateral legislative ties, and agreed on a number of major orientations to promote the cooperation in the time ahead. Accordingly, the two legislatures will continue to effectively implement their cooperation agreements, work harder to remove obstacles to the Vietnam-Cuba relationship, and advance it to a new development period in a more efficient and sustainable manner. Committees and agencies of the two national assemblies will also step up the exchange of experiences in lawmaking, and perfecting socio-economic management policies, and boosting their cooperation at multilateral mechanisms and forums.